Oh yeah. What up, YouTube? Good to see y'all again. Good to be back after a few days off. Glad to have you here, back in here with me. The Gamma Effect. This is Gamma. We got a great topic today, brothers. U.S. women having meltdowns, asking why can't passport bros travel in Europe or the U.S. I love it. We're gonna get into it. But first, like and subscribe. Subscriber count is moving up. I'm getting comments. This YouTube thing is fun. We're going to get into this interesting topic. I'm also going to bring some of my brothers up so that we can have a conversation. Because, yeah, they really getting into it. Now, I would like to iterate, this is not about the sisters. I'm starting to hear that a little bit, that the brothers is just going at the sisters. This example here has nothing to do with the sister. It ain't the melanin, baby. It's the culture. That Western culture we are running from. You got men of all kinds. Caucasian men, Asian men, Latino men, brothers. They all getting a passport and rolling out. Now, why is that? Are they running from sisters only? Nah. Brothers will take ourselves to Latin America and find us a melanated sister. Boy, we'll go over to Africa continent. What's up? Ethiopia, Eritrea. Man, I seen a bad honey that was from the Congo. Woo! She had body too, boy. I definitely was down to talk to her. So it ain't about the melanin. Nothing to do with it. This ain't about race. This is culture, you heard? That's what it is. And that's what we're going to show. Now, this lady talking and having her issues with Passport Bros, she got the same talking points, same issues. And, you know, her melanin level ain't even there. She got blonde hair and all that. So, she's questioning why brothers ain't going to, Sweden and Switzerland and, all these different European destinations. Like us grown men need to answer to women as to where we're going and why we're going. That's it's getting comical out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it. I'll probably stop a few times and let you see it. Okay, I got my brother Iridonis in the crib. Before I play the video, we're gonna bring him up. Let me turn down this music real quick. Oh yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, loud and clear, brother. What's going on?
Man, still living, still breathing. Another day, another opportunity, another chance to get active. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I know exactly what you mean, brother.
How's everything going your way, my guy?
Yeah, we out here. We getting at it just like every time, man. No complaints here. I am amused because this topic we got today. U.S. women having meltdowns, asking why can't passport bros travel in Europe or stay in the Western countries? Why we gotta go to Asia? Why we gotta go to Latin America? Why can't we stay in certain countries?
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's a hot topic. That's interesting. I'm not gonna say a hot topic. I mean, it could be a hot topic too, but for me, it's definitely an interesting topic for sure.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I never thought I would hear something like this, but I mean, I guess that's how they feel. So it is what it is.
I mean, for me, in my mind, and correct me if I'm wrong. You said while we go to like Asia or Central America or South America instead of Europe Was that correct?
Yes, instead of the Western countries.
Oh, say less, bro. Hey, you already know why. Hey, I already know why for myself, and I just had to tell a guy today. You know, he thought a girl was my girlfriend, and I was like, nah. I already had to explain to the girl I love my sun-kissed women. So,
Yo, well, they gonna say, you know, sun-kissed women in the West, you can find you a Latina or a sister in California or Florida. They out there.
But sun kiss is sun kiss, you know. But you already know with that wave and frequency, you gotta travel to see what you're gonna meet. You know, it's a whole beautiful world out there. You already know.
Yeah, absolutely.
If one that's listening, you know. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna share a screen and kind of get into it so we can like see where I'm coming from and then start rapping about it.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Let's get it.
All right, let me share my screen. Hold on 1 second.
To see now with the modern women here in America, a lot of them are starting to have meltdowns about men leaving, America to seek love in other countries. Case in point, this particular video, this woman is going to have a true meltdown. But let's review it. Now, before we get started, Forever Single 44. Okay, let's go.
Let me ask you a question, Edgar. Why are the passport bros not going to Sweden, Switzerland, Germany? Why are they going to Colombia, the Philippines, Malaysia, African countries? Why are they going there and not to Europe?
Because that's the choice that they choose.
No,
not every man. That is. It can't be the wrong answer because you can't tell everybody where they're
modeled like the West. They're modeled like us, and they're not going to stand for their bullshit. So they go to these very, very poor countries where your $50,000 means the world in a third world country. And they bring them back here, and the women are subservient, and they do everything the man wants. But let me kid you not, when the women get a little education and an employment and learn the language, they might not frickin' stay. They use the men, the American men, the schmucks, as an outlet to get here.
So
let's stop right there because we got to keep going with this. All right. She answered her own question. Literally, why they won't go to basically European countries. Because it's the Western world. It's the same thing. Like they said, that's jumping out the oven into the frying pan. You leave America and you're going to go to Canada and tell them you're going to find a wife. And you get divorced in Canada, they're going to take half. Okay, you go from Canada, you go to the UK, same thing. Norway, the Netherlands, all these different countries, they got the same freaking laws, child support. They got the same laws, the same entitled women, the same issues and problems. Why would men go to the Western world? Listen, even white men don't even want to be with them. Like trust me, y'all really thinking they talking about brothers. No, there's a lot of white men that can't stand they behinds.
All right. Let me add Coach Big to the stream. What up, Coach Big?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well.
Did you catch that the screen share?
Yeah, I think I just caught probably the end of it there, or maybe right after you guys started. But maybe you could just go over the gist of it real quick.
Okay, she was saying, why you gotta go to South America? Why you gotta go to Asia? Why can't you go to Germany, Australia, Canada, Norway, the Netherlands, the places in Europe? Why do you got to go to these poorer countries? She says because European women are modeled like U.S. women and they won't take your nonsense. You got an opinion on that?
I think that's interesting. I think it's hard to say that anybody from any place is just going to be like one way or the other.
True.
Or to make that assumption. And I also think like not all these countries out here, and especially not all these people out here, and women too, are not broke necessarily either.
Right. Right.
So, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and dudes are like also focusing on other stuff. We're trying to work, we're trying to do business, we're trying to go on adventures. Like that's kind of more what it's about. And then if something cool comes along your way, some cool chick or whatever, then yeah, I mean we're about that too, right?
Yeah, I agree 100%. She's premising. I mean, even the man that's speaking, Philip Scott, they're acting as if relationships and women are the only motivation for Passport Bros. Like it's all about finding women when there's a whole lot of aspects of life that are quite interesting when you go to different countries. So maybe we like Asia for a lot of reasons. Maybe brothers like anime. Maybe they're into video games. Maybe they like going to South America. They got a whole bunch of dope history and architecture down there. There's like a ton of reasons, but they just assume that it's all about the women. Brother Airdonis, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Just
let me get your opinion on that.
Enjoying the show.
How you doing, man? By the way,
man, chilling, tired, but I'm here. Like I said, always a good time just to chop it up with you brothers and just get active and just converse and fellowship. You know what I mean?
Righteous.
But man,
hey, your mic is real staticky, man. Real quick, if I'm not sure, maybe something in there, but I can't really hear you that well.
Am I better now?
No, not quite. Still a little staticky.
Yeah. No worries. I think I can understand what you're saying. But yeah, man, it's an interesting question for sure.
Let me see. How's that? Am I coming through a little bit clearer now?
It's like we can hear you, but like we hear the static as well. Like it's not bad, but it's like it can work. If that's what it is, it can work.
Well, just so we don't mess with the flow, y'all go ahead and chop it up. I'm gonna find something to fix this.
Okay, sounds good. I'm a screen share the rest of this video. That's perfect. I'll segue. Standing by.
On the digital nomad visa, show them that you make your money online and you don't need nothing from them. There you go. Let's.
Oh shoot.
And you don't need nothing from them. There you go. Let's continue.
Let me ask you a question.
Because why can't you find what you're looking for here if you're a good man, that is, right?
Because it's not here. It's not. No. See, she's mad because you fellas have the ability to take yourself out of here and you have so many options that she don't. Because see, they trying the passport sis thing. Oh, I got some videos for that. And this is definitely coming. And it don't work out for them like that. And a lot of these so-called passport sisters out here, right? They straight degenerates, a lot of them. Let's continue.
Okay, I'll take part of what you said to reason why. Because you said that they take your little $50,000. See, maybe our
because here it doesn't mean
hold on, but real. Exactly. See, it means it doesn't mean
here.
But if you listen, it doesn't mean to the women who are not accepting and don't see.
Not when I make over six figures.
Wait, hold on. But it doesn't make sense to a woman.
Okay. Now, so what she's saying is your $50,000 don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. We don't care about it. You aren't good enough. Why you got to go to those places? Why can't you just do what you need to do here? Why can't you find love here? But once again, I don't think brothers I don't think Passport Bros are necessarily looking exclusively for love. I don't think they're running around starstruck looking for Cupid. I think they're just looking for something else. Western culture is very specific. We all know what it is. Getting outside of it is a blessing. It's eye-opening. It creates a lot of growth. And why do we have to find, even if we are looking for love, why do we have to find it in the West? Especially if she's saying our 50,000 don't mean nothing. Because I made 50,000 some years. Some years I made more, but even on the years I made 50,000, she's saying I'm not good enough, and I think I'm more than good enough. And when I go to South America, I go to Asia, they think I'm good enough too. They think I'm more than good enough. So, like, why wouldn't I do that? It's simple logic. Like, why wouldn't you do what works best for you? Makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah, lots of places too, man. Like I've been to Europe, I've been to a bunch of places, like and the dating culture is just different over there. I don't know. A lot of ways it's kind of hard to describe, but it's just different.
Right. I mean, if it is about dating, if that's your main goal, why wouldn't you try something else if it's not working here? Like, why are they trying to force us to find what we want here? And she says that's if you're a good man. Well, good man based on her standards. If she don't think we're good, then what? Why don't she have an issue? Like, why is she? You hear how animated she is. You hear how upset she is. She keeps cutting her brother off. She's saying 50,000 ain't nothing compared to her 6 figures. So why is she worried about it? If those men make 50 grand and they're beneath her, why does she even have them on her radar? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I actually think that'd be a good question to ask her. Like, okay, so if that's the case, then what would be your classification of like a good man, quote unquote, right?
Right.
And I've seen there's some other like streams or podcasts and stuff out there where they're kind of talking a little bit about this. And some of them even got like crazy graphs and this like website or whatever. And I don't know how accurate all the data is, or like I can't, you know, say it's all definitely legit or whatever. But it's pretty interesting because they do like the survey, and a lot of
Yeah.
chicks are looking for like the top 1% or less statistically than the average person out there, the average man out there. Like we're not making crazy bread and driving Lamborghinis and shit. Like, what do you want?
Well, they don't want the average man. That's for sure. They want an elite man, like you said, 1%. I mean, at the bare minimum, they take top 10%. Like, you got to be making over 100 grand. They'd like 200,000. But I don't think they realize out of 4+ billion women on the earth, these, what is it, 150, 160 million women in America, they're the only ones who have those standards. The other 4 billion women on the earth don't have those standards. They're not saying that. Like, these are the only women demanding it, and they have such a short view, such a small view with their exceptionalism that they don't realize that they're the minority screaming this loudly. Most women, if you make $30,000 globally, you're in the top 1%. You go to another country with $30,000. I mean, we did it last video. We showed the average salaries. You make 30,000 US, which is what, 2,500 a month. You're top 1% for sure. In most countries, out of 190 countries, probably 180 of them, you're going to be in the top 1% of those nations. So it's only these US women who are from this, massive superpower economically, who demand that we make in the top 10% of the 1%. Can you believe that? That's really what's going on, and they don't realize it.
Yeah, now, hey, can you guys hear me better now? Or am I still staticky?
Much better, much better. The static's just very slight, but I think we can roll with it.
All right, all right. And that's what I was going to say. I feel like it's all subjective.
Yes.
When you look at different demographics, and Coach Big brought up a good point with the statistics, the stats, and all that. I feel like it's just subjective based on those demographics.
Right.
Here within the U.S., you and I have talked about it before, but just to bring it up to the public, here it's more high value, and they don't look at the high optional guys such as us who can just pick up and leave and go where we want when we want to. We're not stuck with house payment, car payment. You know what I'm saying? We have so many options for us in life. You know, so I feel like, for me, if a woman wants a high value man, hey, go get one, girl. You know, no, all love to you. I know
Yeah.
what I want, I know what I need, and if we're not aligned, there's no need for me to bash you. You know, so I feel like old sister just bashing us. It's like, man, if brothers don't align with you, who hurt you? Truth, truthfully speaking, like that's what I'm sitting here wondering. Like, who hurt you? You know, like I mean, maybe that I'm just a loving being. Like, I'm not going to just sit here and bash a sister just because of this or that. You know, so just like Scott was saying, man, or just like Coach Big was saying, there has to be, may possibly another underlying issue, to go deeper into that topic. But that's neither here nor there. You know, for me being over in Asia, man, it's just the culture. It's just people just my experience at China. That's where I was. For the most part, traveled to the Philippines and a few other places, but mostly at China. I, I didn't try to be somebody else. I was just who I am, and people either liked it or they didn't. But I made such an impact. People really gravitated towards me.
Let me
And
ask
started
you a
doing
quick.
what I was doing.
Let me ask you a quick question. You were saying like, don't have no house payment, don't have no car. When you went overseas, did you need a car? Did you need a big fancy house? Like, what was the situation?
Man, oh, when I first went overseas,
Yeah, did you need a car? Did you go over there and buy a car? Because you gotta have a car in America, or a woman has no interest, and you gotta have a
oh
nice
yeah,
crib, or she's not gonna be
definitely
interested.
within the U.S., yeah, definitely got to have that to get around. But man, traveling, going over to China, didn't need none of that. There's so many different modes of transportation. So many different modes of transportation, whether it be sleeper train, fast train, the regular train. You know, like you'll see so many people on bikes just getting around. You got your DDs. So no, didn't have to worry about none of that.
Now, what?
Like,
But did the women hold it against you if you was like, "Yo, I'm gonna come meet you on the train"? What was a woman like? Oh, nah, you coming on a train? I could never.
not it felt just common. I met some women who had their own whips, and I would just drive their whip over there. Now that was different for me because it's kind of I had to get used to it because it kind of is what it is. Like, but nah, they didn't hold it against me at all.
No,
Let's say if we're taking a DD, or what they would say Uber here,
yeah,
I just get like a nicer one. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't just get just no cheap one. But and it just was what it was. It wasn't about that material thing. It was more about the relationship between the two people.
right, yeah.
No,
See,
no, no.
go ahead.
I met some girls who were like that, but that's everywhere. You
Right.
know, but for me personally, a majority of the people, girls that I met and women, they just wanted to get to know me for who I was.
Right. And that's why brothers do so well, and that's why they want to go to Asia. They want to go to South America because before they get into what you have and all this and that, they want to know who you are. It's the exact opposite of Western culture where they got to see what you got. I know you brothers have seen these gold digger traps where dudes walk up to girls and try to talk to him, and the woman won't talk to him, and then he'll get in his car and she comes running back because it's just all about like what you have as opposed to who you are. It's an opposite culture outside of the Western countries.
Big facts on that. Definitely a big fact. I was going to say gold digger, but I didn't want to mention that.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've seen the videos. I mean, it's just like, it just works. I say if it works sometime, but it just works too well most of the time. It's really disheartening. But look, let me get back to this video and play a little bit more because I want to see what else she has to say. All right.
If you got making six figures, why are you on the internet or TikTok live mad? Why are you mad? There's no reason for you to be mad. So, but like I said, you'll get to the 6 figures, but you're always gonna be alone. But your screen name says a lot too. But let's continue.
Of course it
In
does.
that fact, when a man is working hard and putting in blood, sweat, and tears just to get his $50,000, see that woman
Get a
doesn't
better job.
appreciate-
Do
See,
better.
but that
Have more
that don't
ambition.
appreciate it. You
Have
see how
more
that?
ambition.
You see
Have
how
more
that is?
I did.
It's unappreciated. That's the reason.
So you see her answer. Have more ambition, get a better job. You have to make more. Look, why don't I just leave? And then we've got no problems, right? Why do I have to be in her box? Like, why does she think men will be in her box? You need to stay here. You need to make more money. You need to have more ambition, but you must not leave and stay how you are and go somewhere where people, cultures, women overall accept you based on who you are, and the $50,000 or $60,000 or $80,000 that you have, even though it's less than the $100,000+ that this woman requires. It just doesn't make sense. Her answers don't make sense. Like, why is she mad?
It seems like she watched Think Like a Man too much. You remember that movie Think Like a Man?
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, Steve Harvey.
And it was
Steve Harvey really
and
messed up a lot of women. He really did with
but you
telling
remember
them
the business?
man.
Yeah, the businesswoman who made more. You remember how the movie was? I mean, that's what I'm seeing. She's like a reflection of that. It's like just because she's making that, she's looking at herself and projecting that onto somebody else. And for me, it's like people have different capacities. Your capacity is different from mine. Just because somebody makes 6 figures doing whatever doesn't mean the next person should have the same capacity to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have our different niche to society and to this world.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's about capacity, but sometimes it's about interest, like you said. Some brothers like what they do, and they shouldn't have to change careers to do something that they don't like just because it makes more money. If they have the ability to do that same career and work remotely or in some type of capacity, do it in another country where it's
Mm-hmm.
plenty and they love it. Like, that doesn't make any sense that I have to stay here, work a job I don't like strictly because it makes more money because the women in this country require more money. Like, it's just ludicrous to me that that they expect that. It makes no sense. Like, why would a man live for a woman's standard? Why would you do that?
But see, that's why you see a lot of cuckolds and stuff going on, bro. Because
Right.
from me being back home, you see, from what I've experienced, and some of these women, man, you got their man just working, and their man's like, man, look, if she's still gonna be home when I get there, she do what you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
It
don't have to
sounds
go
to
in the
me
morning.
like,
Go ahead, Coach Big.
oh no, yeah. Real quick, it just sounds to me like a lot of labeling is going on here. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of labeling going on with, you know, the dudes, so on, quote unquote, and with these girls over there, and that's the only reason. It's just like not being able to see the big picture and labeling things that you don't really know about, because the fact of the matter is a lot of these people over there, like, I mean, I met a lot of professionals and well-traveled and intelligent, like hardworking people, and like a lot of them making similar decisions. So it's not these quote unquote losers over here that are just like getting rejected and shit. Like dudes are like doing real things and
Hmm.
still making similar choices.
Big facts on that, Coach Big. Big facts. But I feel like that's just the perception, right? Or the projection. I should say, not the perception, the projection is that, all losers, like you said, doing big things.
Yeah. And also the label or the assumption that all these women in all these countries for whatever reason like aren't as good or aren't as high quality or don't got it like that or whatever. And a lot of them are also independent, like so on, do business, whatever stuff like that. Like Gia remembers I had one girl I was dating, she used to pick me up in a Porsche and stuff, dude. It was awesome. Like I never had a girl like date me before. It was different.
I had a few of those experiences when I was up there. It
I was
different
like, damn.
experience. Yeah, it took you for kind of made you think like, okay, like why me for a second, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was crazy.
Like, I feel like the woman over there is not like back here though. You know, like you said, like she just like what she was saying, just wanted to get to know you. You know, if she had a Porsche, cool. So what? She has a Porsche. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it didn't really matter all that much. Um, so yeah, I just see a lot of labeling going on with that opinion or those you know, being mad or whatever. There's not really much to be mad about, and I think we touched on this a little bit in one of the other streams, but you know, just being mad for no reason, like I don't get it. Like if you didn't care, that was it. That was in the other video. Like if they didn't care, they wouldn't be upset. So if they're just like, "Oh, take the trash out" or whatever, then like let them take the trash out then. Like why do you care? But instead they're mad, so they must kind of care a little bit, right?
yeah, I'm with you on
Man,
that.
look, this is interesting. I got another video with it's like it's less contentious. You know, this woman is having a meltdown. Matter of fact, let's finish it up a little bit and finish up her little rant, and then we'll look at another. We'll review another video where it's a much more civilized conversation.
Now, this is sub.
Why Edgar, you're trying to reason money
Okay, here we go.
important.
Have some emotional intelligence and make more money.
But why Edgar, you're trying to reason with the liberal, it's not gonna work. Why
Did you just sit up here and quote that crazy so-called therapist, emotional intelligence? Are you listening to her? You remember the one that got fired for talking bad about black men? Emotional intelligence. Oh my God. You hear her? And nothing's wrong with them though. It's all on the man. Listen, lady, you're making the case for men to get on the plane. You're doing it. You're not convincing no man to stay. You're convincing them to go. And they need to. My Lord. What's her father in her life? I got a question about way too much venom to say she had a father in her life. Did she grow up with a single mother?
making more money is more important? Why is
What
that
do you
more
think
important?
50,000 is going to buy in America with this
He
thing?
got no filter.
He works hard for it. Well, how would you feel if somebody said that your little $50,000 don't?
I make double that, so it's irrelevant.
No filter at all.
First of all, a man don't come into a situation caring about what you make. And
Man, yeah, they just, I mean, it's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. That's what they want. They want the money. You need to make it. That's your job. That's what you're here for. And that's just all it is. Like the brother said, she's just making brothers want to get on a flight. Because if you extrapolate that opinion or that point of view, which more and more I'm starting to see that, you extrapolate that out into society, why would you stay here to just get used and all you're going to get is whatever in return? Whatever. I mean, they don't have any self-improvement to do. They don't have anything that they focus on inwardly. They just want what they want, and they think they can tell you what to do, although they have no ability to enforce it. They can't make me do it. Only thing they can do is offer up some, whatever men want from them. But, at the end of the day, all women, I can go to another place and get, probably what they offer and more, actually more, from a traditional woman. So it doesn't make sense. I get a better deal and accept it when I leave. Now, let me show, I'm going to stop screen sharing this one, and then let me show the next one because it's not a contentious conversation. she's not belligerent. She's actually reasonable in how she's talking. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, could I just give a quick like last comment on the last one?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Just that I really think at the end of the day, like none of it's really even all about that. Because it really is like the byproduct of people and dudes like in particular trying to go out there and have more adventures and work on different things. And like you have crazy opportunity if you study languages and go around the world and do all these things and like the relationship thing or the women part or whatever is really just like a side thing, you know, like if this was a video game, this would be like the main quest is like go make it big and like the side quest is like maybe that happens, you know. That's cool if you run into someone. But dudes ain't out there. I don't think dudes are hopping across the whole world and like jumping on planes and all that just for the sake of women though. I guess is kind of my last point there.
I agree 100%. Like, you're not going to live a certain life. I'm talking like minimalist to where you don't, gather up too many items. You make sure you got your passport up to date. You navigate the visa process. You get on a plane. You go to another land. You either learn a new language or you manage the language barrier. And you do all that just so you can go and date a woman. Like this lady say, like, there are women here. You can find it here. Like, why would you do all that? It's definitely not about all that. But here's the thing. I think women want to see other cultures too. I think U.S. women want to see other cultures too, but they want to do it on a vacation level. Men will just full on leave this joint and live in another place because we don't need the comfort, we don't need the luxury, we don't need the standard that the U.S. offers. Like, it's a lot easier for a man to live without certain luxuries in life than it is, for another gender, for the ladies. It's just, we can rough it, and it's not really that big of a deal. And then the ladies overseas, if they've never been to America, they're not used to that standard. They're used to their standard. So it's not really a big deal. They just can't up and move the way we can. I think that's what makes them angry. They also don't have the political and legal superiority or status that they have in the U.S. abroad. So they can't act a fool like they do here. They can't be as aggressive as they can here because they just don't have the legal protections that they do enjoy in America or in the U.S. that they do abroad. So that's another reason they won't live abroad. So they're kind of stuck here. It's an island. You know what I mean? And so they just trying to figure out a way to shame us in a stand because they know that at the end of the day, they can claim equality, but they can't do this aspect of life that we can do. Now, let me bring this up. Let me share this screen real quick. And this is asking a legitimate question with a good temperament. Okay.
So I have a question for the men, and maybe y'all can help me with this. I really want to know. Do y'all not go out anymore? I really want to know. Like, do y'all just sit at home and swipe left and swipe right online? Because I go out to different events and I go to restaurants and to the beach and all kinds of stuff, right? I'm outside. It's always a bunch of women. It's never any men there. And I know we're all there for the same reason, right? We want to meet people, right? Socialize, exchange numbers, whatever it is. We want to meet each other. But y'all ain't never there. Where y'all be at? Where y'all be? Tell me.
Well,
Ooh.
They notice. No. The first thing I want to point out is she says, she goes to all these different places, and she's wondering, like, what are we doing? Are we just swiping left and swiping right? Now, there's an assumption there that we sit at home and our interest or our mind, our thinking is on women because we're swiping left and swiping right. So she's assuming we're on dating apps, right? That shows the mentality that these women have. But you know what I've also learned is that a lot of what these women are doing, because they're so rooted in this, women supremacy movement and this equality thing, that they actually think that men operate the way women do. So they take how they are and then they extrapolate it onto us. And so because they're swiping right and swiping left and looking for men, it's showing their mentality. She automatically assumes that if we're not outside looking for them, then we must be on dating apps at home looking for them, swiping left and swiping right. She doesn't realize that we're doing other stuff. We're doing other stuff. You know what I mean? Brother Eridonis was teaching me how to speak Mandarin, and I was putting
I
my
was
game.
I was going to say that, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Gave me a book, and I got into that, and my Mandarin skills improved. I was looking at the Douyin, like the Chinese version of TikTok, and I was rolling through it
Mhm.
and just listening to the Mandarin language, for 2 hours helps a lot. And it's like, brothers getting on YouTube, creating podcasts, they're improving in all these different ways. And it's not like we're just in the house looking for women. We're just not out looking for women. We're doing our own thing, and they just can't get their mind around it. That's just my
And,
take on what she said. What y'all brothers think?
and for me personally, there'll be times where, I'm not gonna lie, I have the 10-10. I use it to when I'm just bored, I'll just a bunch of left swipes and whatnot. Like if I swipe right, I'll get matches and I met some real cool people. But I don't actively search for a woman on it. Like for me, if you met me in person, G, I'm gonna talk to you in person.
Right.
And I truly, with peace, don't care if they don't like me, if they say no, but it's still all love for me. Especially being overseas, I feel like just interacting, you meet so many people just on the basic interaction of face to face, not screen to screen. That happens so much more, at least being overseas. For me, back here, it's still face to face. But I do see within this US, it's just, man, a lot of people just screen to screen contact. It's like people really don't know how to connect with each other. So it's like, hey, baby girl, just because you're at home on the toilet, clicking, swiping right and left, that's why you don't see me. Like maybe I'm not out at the club. Maybe I don't want to be, out at the club. Maybe I'm, at the gym or, at the park, being active. So I feel like it's all about, just what you're looking for and where those crowds are at.
She's saying, like, I be going to events, I be going to the beach. Look, I'm outside. Like, where y'all be at? But look, I
Yeah,
think I think it's really interesting that she is saying, because a few years ago girls were like, stop approaching me, stop coming up to women you don't know, leave us alone. And now they're like, well, we all want to go out and meet people and talk and exchange contacts, which is code for, like, we want men to talk to us and get our phone numbers and do the whole song and dance, right? But they're completely changing their tune because, like, we listened to them. They was talking mess, like, leave us alone, leave us alone. So we left them alone.
hmm
And now she's like, where y'all be at? Where y'all at? Like, all I see is women. I go out all the time and I see groups of women everywhere. And I don't see no men. Where y'all at? Now they checking for us. That's so interesting.
Yeah, yeah, super interesting. And I think it's a catch 22, because it is like, what are you looking for and all that. And your environment matters a lot, and the people you surround yourself with matters a lot. and they're saying you get a lot of feedback from females, and they're like, "Oh, where's all the good dudes? Where's all like the hardworking dudes? Blah blah blah." It's like they're not in those places you're looking for them though. Like they are out there trying to improve themselves and work hard and do business and do networking and expand and go on adventures and realize that memories and experiences have real value, things like that. I don't want to get too deep down the rabbit hole, but yeah, I think that's an important point.
Look, you know what they should do if they really trying to find us? They need to bake some damn cookies and make some damn sandwiches, like we've been saying, and they need to show up on construction sites at lunchtime and just give us something to eat, give us something to drink, and shut up and smile and look pretty, and then go to different places where hardworking men are at and serve them. Straight up, serve them, give them something that they can find useful, like some food, something cold to drink on a hot day. Look cute, smile, and don't talk to us too much. Straight up. And if you don't do that, look, you ain't getting nothing. And like that's how I'm seeing it, man. Either it's gonna go back to the traditional way, or they could just keep asking silly questions, looking lonely, or on the internet screaming and yelling at men because they're not doing what they want them to do. And the Passport Bros will grow and continue, and that's just what it's going to be. So I don't know. The gender war is kind of over. I think most men lost interest in it, and ain't nobody trying to argue with them. We just gonna do our thing, and they could do whatever they want. They're free.
Yeah, and real quick, I mean, I don't want to get into this whole other rabbit hole, but the online and online dating and online in general with all the social media and how a lot of people hide behind their phones, etc. I'm with you, Adonis. Like, I'm definitely more of an in-person or on the phone or, you know, regular human communication type of person. But that's just me, you know, and I think there's a lot of advantages to us being able to use all these things to network and talk to people. Like, I'm still able to talk to all my friends and stuff all over the world, like instantly, which is just crazy to me. Um, but there is like what you're gonna find online is like not necessarily the real thing though. That's a whole other topic, but I'll kind of leave it there for now.
Now I feel what
Yeah,
you're
I'm
saying. I
with
mean,
you.
since I got back, I got on Bumble for like 24 hours, and it was just all the same nonsense. Talking about their career, saying they're looking for their person, their partner, and all that same old language. And I deleted that joint right away. So I mean, yeah, same old stuff for the most part. I was cool on it. And also, like women change up when they're just looking at a screen. They just looking for like status symbols, social markers, and just pure like visual attractiveness, I guess, just like on a picture. And men, like we ain't focused on taking all these pictures and professional grade pictures or taking 50 pictures to finally get the perfect angle on one so that we can post it. Men like we ain't into that. And we're also trying not trying to be pretty. We out here trying to be productive. Men are supposed to be productive, and that's what women are supposed to be attracted to. When they get into like how pretty you are and the perfect picture and all this silly stuff that they're into, don't nobody got time for that. So I mean, yeah, the
I
whole
do.
thing. You I do. I definitely do.
I've been called pretty before, and I took it as the ultimate compliment. You know? So I'm like, nah, I had to come in and joke, brother, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, there's pretty boys out there, man. And look, shout out to the pretty boys because they be checking honeys. The one thing I like about pretty boys, they got so many honeys that they don't take no bullshit. They're never the simp. The simps is the whole problem. And pretty boys are
Yeah.
not the simps. They would tell her, hey, look, bitch, I got 3 more of you. Get your ass up out here talking. I ain't about to get down for you. You better get down for me. The pretty niggas be getting it. Pretty
Yeah.
brothers be
True,
getting it. So, like, I
true,
appreciate them.
true.
I appreciate them.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just said like, no, got time for pretty. Nah, hey, I do. I got time. I got time for that.
No, I look. I'm
You
gonna
know.
take an ugly picture and post it. Look, if she say I'm ugly. Look, somebody got to be ugly. You know what I'm saying? But if she want a good life, if she want to get on a flight and go somewhere, look, let's go.
But hey, what one thing Coach Big was saying that I want to touch on real quick. He was talking about, how some men, like, and you said it too, G, how, some men of us, we're productive, we're just out doing things. What I've noticed is it, I see it on both scales. Let's say, the two of you know me, and I'm into fitness. I'm really into working out, wake up 3 a.m. I get it. I'm with that. But and I've since I've been back here within the US, you'll see women or girls, however you want to put it, they say like, "Oh yeah, I want this nice guy," or somebody with a nice body, but they don't have that nice body. Or you'll see guys saying they want this Coca-Cola shaped girl, but they're not into fitness. Or you'll see a woman saying, I want a hard working
Mm.
man, but she's not hard working. Or a guy wants this girl to be doing that, but he's not doing that. So what I be analyzing and just really perceiving is so many people are projecting about things that they're not even doing for themselves, but they want that in a partner. The fuck? Come on
Okay,
now.
look, I agree with you mostly, but you kind of made it kind of even, and I don't see it even at all. I do not see in
That,
the
that, I'm, that's what I'm just giving you from what I'm seeing. I'm giving you based on my percentage and averages. I can't
have
speak
you
for everybody
seen
else.
have you seen sloppy flat just sloppy fat dudes saying, look man, she better be slim in shape with 6% body fat. This dude know he ain't about to get that dog
I
in what
mean,
world.
but
But
still
girls
not verbatim, but
get
I still came around it. I still came
really?
around it, bro. Yeah,
Hey.
that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen it on both sides. People wanting something from the other party, and they're not willing to do it for themselves.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's about, and I can only speak for myself from what I've seen.
Righteous,
You know what I'm
righteous.
saying? And I know I can't give all the statistics. I'm not around everybody,
Oh
but
yeah, no
from what
doubt.
I've seen, it's just like it's just crazy. It's like how can you expect something from your partner that you truly don't want to do for yourself?
I agree. You gotta be what you want to attract. You really gotta be what you want to attract. If you want a bad fit woman, then you need to be in a gym, straight up. If you want a woman that makes
Yeah.
money, definitely gonna have to make some money. Yeah, and it's definitely the same on the other end. But I usually see women saying all the things that they want, and they're none of it. Like, but they got a list. They
Hmm.
like 7, 8, 9, 10 qualities that a man must have. They're
Yeah.
just, you know what I mean? They normal as can be.
They'll go
Yeah, and
deep
I
in
think
with it.
that's true. Oh, real quick, just like I think that's true anywhere you go, though. That's not just necessarily true. Like if you here or anywhere, like, and I agree with you. Like you have to put yourself out there to what you want to attract, and you have to be in that situation and that environment, and you have to be working towards that. And it's not none of this is easy work. Like this is all work, and you got to put in the work, or like you're just not going to get anywhere with anything.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I got a little bit of beef with one thing this brother says, man. I'm gonna let y'all hear it, and let's see if you automatically know what I'm talking about. I got major beef with what he talking about. Let's listen to it.
The next destination that they need to go to, them and their team, looking at payroll, all kind of different things that those guys are doing, and because they're passionate about what they're doing, they really don't have that kind of time to be out like that. And then also the pandemic also show y'all want to dress, y'all like to dress as ladies and show out your new heels and your dresses and all. When you get to a certain age, you're like, why am I gonna pay $12 for a drink when I can go get a couple of bottles? By the time you look up, you done drunk a few drinks and you done spent over $200. Like, man, where all the money went? A lot of men does not own that. Now, you do better meeting men traveling on the plane. If you're going out the country, there's been women that's gotten with other, let's say it was a black woman. She met her husband traveling to Tanzania. Two black American people got together by meeting by traveling. She would have never met that man going to the bar, going to the lounge, etc. She met him through travel. If you want to meet somebody, get in travel groups. Get in like something that where the men is at. Like men is like, shoot, y'all ladies that would be smart. Y'all would be smart to get those passports. You're smart. You're a decent woman.
Yeah, I mean,
Yo, I'm not angry. Like, what's he doing? Like, why is he telling them that? Like, does he know what Passport Bros are about? We trying to leave them. And he's over there telling them to get in our groups and find us in the airport and shit. I'm in the airport. You think I want an American woman coming up to me trying to find out where I'm going and what I'm doing? And dog,
Here's the thing, though, bro.
I'm not
Here's
trying
the
to
thing.
compromise. I'm going
Here's
over
the thing.
there. I don't want no girl trying to go with me and then want to come back to the United States because her job is there, and then she gonna want to compromise. Okay, we'll come back for a year, and then maybe next year we can. I ain't trying to compromise. I ain't trying to mess with them. Leave them women outside of our groups. They are here. They need to stay here. If we want them, we will stay here. If we don't want them, we will go away. Let them deal with all the men who like to stay here. Let them figure out where they are. And the men who are in the airport, we already having problems with brothers dealing with women in the airport and on an airplane while they trying to get away and she questioning him and having beef. What is he doing? Ain't nobody tell him that. This is American, brother. He been doing his American thing, getting rich on YouTube. We did our passport bro thing. He said he supported the movement. And now all of a sudden he trying to get the women tips and shit so that they can get with us while we're trying to get away. Philip Scott, if you hear this, I know I got a small channel, but if you hear this, will you knock it out? I got love for you, brother. I love your work, but be quiet telling them what we doing and where to go find us. If we want to stay here and find them, we will. Don't be giving them tips. We leaving them for a reason. Those women got this whole legal system on their behalf. They got no fault divorce. They got abortion laws. They got Title IX. They got quotas in the job market. They got their equality here. Now, if we want to go to find a whole different type of woman and a whole different type of system and a different culture, we don't need these women bothering us while we trying to go do what we want to do. Leave our peace alone, please. All right, brothers, you guys got anything on that?
For me personally, with peace, I don't think he's talking about me because I met, you know, I feel like it can go both ways, right? You gonna meet some sisters overseas. They don't want anything to do with us. They coming over there for the same experience that we are to to meet somebody other than us. You know what I mean? Like for me personally, you know, he said just travel. That's where my mind got stuck on. Just travel. Yeah, yeah, it's all good. Oh, girl, met her. I hope the women don't perceive it. I can't speak how he was saying it. In the video, if he was saying like, "Hey, ladies, if you want to find us, follow us." I'm gonna put out that wasn't his message. Where he just said just travel. Because even for us, traveling brought great things. You know, so even for the sisters, just traveling and meeting somebody, go ahead, do it. Now if it's with the intent of following somebody, that's a no-no. But travel this world, meet different people. Hey, I'm all cool for that. I've met and seen people overseas that have their different groups that they have, like, especially being over at China. I've met people from overseas who they have their Chinese friends, and they want nothing to do with you, even if you're from overseas. You know what I mean? Like I met some girls who they wanted to date a Chinese guy. You know, even if I was from overseas, they didn't want nothing to do with me.
No, I
So, you
mean,
know, on both scales, that's just my, you know, you asked for my opinion, and that's just what it is. Like for people to be able to travel, I could be getting it wrong, but that's how I'm taking what he's saying.
I'm
The
not.
going into travel.
I'm not. No, traveling is fine. He said getting into these passport bro groups. He talking about the online groups, the
Yeah,
Facebook groups, and all this and that. It's like heading us off before we get away. Find out where we going. Seeing if you could hook it up and join us on a trip. And he's saying later on, I didn't play it, but later on he says to meet us at the airport, like sit down, brothers
that's why
meet
I
in the
said.
lounges. And I'm like,
That's why
man,
I said if they're gonna follow, that's not it. That's why I said that. If they're gonna follow, that's not it. That's no, that's not the thing to do. You know, let's not follow nobody. We're not gonna do no stalker thing. You know that's not it, boo boo.
we. I mean,
Not
the
it.
thing
Yeah.
is, brothers ain't saying that. We not saying like, oh, we just want to travel, and if American women would travel, we down with them. That's not what we saying. I mean, if we see sisters overseas, that's cool. And if you want to chop it up with them or you want to get with them, yeah, of course, say no more. But ain't nobody saying we want them to come with us, man. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not. They could do whatever they want, but don't become. We need our own space. We got our own spaces. That's what a lot of these online groups are about. Is just men. Men are talking to men as far as passport bros and getting moving. We're not taking sand to the beach. We got all these different women with all these different cultures, all these different types of interesting things going on. I'm not saying the last thing I want to see is American women. I mean, it's cool to see them, but I'm not trying to have any obligation, any sort of a compromise, any sort of a responsibility to them. Once I get to the airport, I'm gone. Don't be in our groups. Don't be trying to see me at the airport. Don't be coming in the lounge. None of that. But if I'm overseas and I see you, I'll be cordial and nice. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm really not looking for them. I know what they are. They come from a homeland. I can get them at home. I just prefer to have a different culture, a different experience. And I don't want to be overrun because honestly, when the women go overseas, some of them can date locally, but if they still got that Western mentality, that equality mentality, it just doesn't really work. I haven't seen their relationships turn into marriage and have these really extensive relationships. A little bit I have, but it's just not the same dynamic. And so if they're looking at passport bro groups, they're looking for an American man to travel with, and that's not what this is about. Like we looking to go and do our thing, and like if we see him over there, we see him over there, and if we hook up over there, that's cool too. But no, I'm not trying to take American women overseas and then have to like compromise and deal with them and look after them and be responsible for them and none of that mess. Yeah, but that's just me. That's how I take it. All right. This has been an interesting conversation. I think we got a lot of the juice out of this squeeze. We got into it. I think it was a lovely conversation. If you brothers got anything, you give
Oh
me
yeah,
your last
definitely,
thoughts.
definitely.
Give me your last thoughts on the topic. We've been on it about an hour. So give me your last thoughts, man, before we sign off.
This was a good one, man. I mean, especially just to hear the just different sides of the scales. You know, everybody's different viewpoints on it. You know, I feel like this was definitely some more fire to add to the pot.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. Definitely interesting. Good talking to you guys. And my last piece would probably just be like keep an open mind. Don't just believe everything you read on the internet and look into stuff a little bit more. The facts may surprise you and take a chance. A lot of people regret later that they don't take chances on stuff. Go explore, go adventure, meet some cool friends. All you're going to do is broaden your access to more opportunities. And that's all I got for today, guys. Like and subscribe. Thank you. And thanks for having me, G. And Eridonis, good talking to you, man.
Word.
Yeah.
I next topic I'll I'll be posting that soon. I probably want to talk about some non-women things, and we'll get into like more business opportunities, more ways to build and fellowship overseas. Talk about some different stories that I've heard and seen, and maybe add a few more brothers to the group, and have a productive conversation about things that we can do on the internet, remotely, how we can help each other out, and just add more growth.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Looking forward to part 3 or, the next topic or the next conversation anytime.
Word. All right, this has been a Gamma Effect edition. The U.S. women having meltdowns, asking why can't Passport Bros travel in Europe or U.S.? And then the sister wanted to know, where are the brothers at? Why she not seeing y'all outside? We kind of gave our explanation of what we doing, where we're going. Shout out to Philip Scott. He's got some great videos and a great channel. That brother got over probably 2 million subscribers because he got like 1.5 on one channel, his main channel. He's got another 400K and like another 100K on 2 more channels. So obviously look up to him, shout out. But leave us alone with these U.S. women. Don't have them chasing us and following us. Don't give out our secrets of what we doing and where we be at. Let us do our thing. Okay, that's been another one. Like Coach Big say, like and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll holler at you next time. Peace.